Hi merfriends and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna make you discover the Mermaid's Tale UK. The brand is owned by Kate, who's an art teacher, and she's living in Manchester. She's designing as well as sewing her tales. It has a website says, I'm gonna read that. She's loving a natural, realistic aesthetic, such as the mermaid portrait in John William Waterhouse painting A Mermaid. So this is her inspiration as well as the British coast. So as I'm coming myself from art studies and that I'm also addicted to painters like Waterhouse, this was a brand for me, of course. So let's start with production time. The website says it takes about 5 weeks to have your tale done, which is quite a short time frame in my opinion, because most of the big brands make you wait like 3 to 4 months at least to receive a tale, so I think it's incredibly quick. I personally received my tale precisely 1 month after the first talk I had with Kate, which is really quick because, as you're gonna hear later, this was a different design, so she's really fast. That's why I'm gonna give a 10 out of 10 for this point. Let's go to price range. So the price range starts at £400 and goes up to £500.75, which is quite a high-end tale, you can say. So in dollars, it's $508 and goes up to $731. So obviously these tales aren't cheap. They're not really affordable to everyone, but we should take into account that the tales are not mass-produced. She's just Kate herself making tales and sewing them and selling them to you. She only makes tales from time to time. It's not her main job as well. And I honestly think that the material is quite expensive in the UK at the moment. But as these tales are not really budget friendly, I only give 6 out of 10 to this point because they're not cheap. You must know that they're not cheap. But on the other side, you can have a lot of fins for quite a light price. So they don't start really low, but the bigger price is quite reasonable for the amount of fins that you get in this tale. So that's why I'm giving a 6 out of 10, because it's in between, not cheap, but reasonable if you have all the fins. Let's jump now into monofin compatibility. So at the moment she can make tales for the Lucia fish fin, the Lindon monofin and the Mahina monofin only. But she told me that you can also have an open fluke and make yourself a vinyl and use the monofin you want. So you have quite a big range of possibility, but not the full spectrum of monofins. So that's why I only give her 8 out of 10 at the moment. And now we're ready to go to the aesthetic and design part. So this point is gonna be big in this video because it's there that I have quite an announcement to make. And aesthetic and design is what brought me to this brand. To me, this is the big plus of the Mermaid's Tale UK. If you followed me for quite a moment, you know that I'm not a rainbowy, sparkly, unicorny, Barbie mermaid. I'm more of a natural looking mermaid, at least it's what I imagine, and this is the things that I prefer in mermaiding, are natural colors close to green, brown, goldish, coppery colors, and also all that it's turquoise, I don't know in English, but greenish blue, and all these colors are totally my vibe. I also really like the natural looking tales that look like real fish or freshwater fish, to be more specific. But not a lot of tale makers do explore this part of mermaid tales. They prefer to explore the tropical fish area because it's so shiny, so bright, so beautiful. I quite like that as well, but way less than the freshwater fish. As a Swiss mermaid, I'm totally addicted to the pike fish that I'm gonna show you somewhere here. And if you remember, I've already made a pike tail with a mertailer, so with the help of the incredible designer that is Mermaid'S. And it was more of a gold pike. It was my take in a kind of mystical creature mermaid mixed with the pike. But this time I wanted to go more for a realistic pike. And when I discovered the brand, the Mermaid's Tail UK, I found out that one of the tails she have already made. So this is, just one second, Port 11. I'm sorry Kate, I don't know how to spell this right. So when I found out about this tail, I suddenly imagined the pike, but the colors were not my cup of tea. It's a beautiful tail, but it's not my colors. The design itself, to me, it was looking like a pike, but in other color. So I came to Kate and I told her, I really like this tail, but can you please change the colors for me? Is that something that is possible? And so we started to work together on this design. And she said, yeah, it's possible. And she sent me the design with my own colors. So first we tried to keep the black area on the back, the stripes that were black, so we kept them like that. But I realized that they were too dark in my opinion, and I wanted to be as close as possible as the pike, for a little precision. For us Swiss mermaids and mer people, the pike is like the shark. Like it's kind of the shark of the Geneva Lake, because it's quite the biggest, I think the biggest fish we have here, and they have big jaws and they can literally eat your fingers, so it's not just an imagination, they are quite powerful fish here. And when they are on their baby size, the spots that they have that you can see on the pictures really look like stripes, so I think they have some hues on the back that looks like stripes, and so to me that's why this design made me think about them so much. But I was like, yeah, but it's more yellow, so can you try please to change the black into yellow? And when she made that, I was like, whoa. So yeah, it looks so close to the fish, but at the same time it looks like a mermaid, so we have the two vibes here, and I was so happy to have this result. But the second different thing that I wanted to make a little bit different was the number of fins, because this tail has lots of fins. I really like to have a few fins, but some of them were not totally what I wanted on this tail, so she was totally open for that, so I kept some of the fins, removed some of them, and I wanted to show you how the fins look like. Yeah, I also changed a little bit the placement of the fins, so the front fins you have there. I personally like when the fins are more oriented to the ground area and not like, you know, lifted like wings, but a little bit down there, if it makes sense. And I also wanted to show you the cut of the fins. So this is something I really appreciate in her designs, is that she makes this kind of crop or cut, yeah, these cuts here. And I think it looks so natural, so fishy. And also the little details here, the dots, the gradients. And here on the back you have the amazing stripes, and you have the dots as well, so this is typically pike-ish, if I can say that. The dorsal, so I have two dorsals, so you have this big one with the cuts here, and a smaller one which is quite big as well. And we also have the cuts here. So yeah, these little cuts, and also the gradients here, and the effects, like, yeah, you know, this fish is alive. I think it looks really nice. You also have a fading effect on the waist. You also have gills just there. And yeah, it's so fishy looking. And the other point that I really like in the tail designs, I think I've said it maybe previously, but it's that the tails really make me think about old engravings, old art, things that from the 17th, 18th century, or maybe closer to us, like in the beginning of the 20s. And I would like to add that on her website you also have some t-shirts, sweatshirts and bags. And when I received this beautiful tail, she was packed in this tote bag, which is just the most perfect tote bag ever to me. So this is this one. You can see how great it looks like. So this is basically Venus, but as a mermaid. As always, it's like everything that I love so much. So this is wonderful. So all the details are so perfect to me. The scales are so realistic. The designs are natural. They look like natural fish. This is why I'm gonna give her a 10 out of 10 for this section. And now it's time for the big announcement. So this announcement is quite an event for me, and I hope you're gonna like that. You can buy this tail. You can buy this exact design on her website. So I'm gonna share this creation we made together, we imagined together. And if you like the pike, if you are a freshwater mare, if you discover the pike and are like, oh my god, I love green, I love freshwater fish, this is a tail for me. You can buy this tail, and this tail is gonna have my name. So if you're looking for Lake Maid Lyra in her website, you're gonna find the tail, the Lake Maid Lyra tail. So I hope you're happy as I am. I'm hoping you're gonna love this design as much as I do, and you can buy this tail for yourself. So this is so cool. I'm not sponsored in any way. It was something we discussed together, and I'm so happy that she offered me this opportunity to call this tail by my name. This is so cool. So yeah, I hope you appreciate. So now you can definitely be part of the Lake Maid Lyra family even more. So now we can jump into the quality and care section. So the fabric is a very soft and stretchy polyester that is good for swimming because it's really light, and it also dries very quickly. Kate was adorable enough to send me sample of fabric even before I ordered the tail. So I can show you what she sent me. So here is a part of the Aimez tail, which is a beautiful coppery reddish tail. So you can see how it looks like. And here, this is the Portleven tail. So you can see the beautiful blue. When I received these samples, I could see how beautiful were the scales, how vibrant was the color. Even if it's not some super bright colors, they do pop out as well. To be honest, this is not my favorite fabric ever, because I'm so in love with scuba knit that you can find in other brands like Finfolk or Mermaid'S, for example. But as I said previously, this fabric has its own advantages in the way that it's quite light and dries fast. This kind of tail is like, I would say, a tail to look fancy, to look very natural and beautiful, but at the same time to be quite fast, to swim fast, to train. So you have the balance in between these two worlds, and I think it's very interesting. The only bad point is that it can scuff really easily, easier than other stronger fabrics. I'm a very careful person, but I can admit that for once I wanted to just enjoy my swim, and I wanted just to play and not overthink every time about, oh yeah, I'm not, you know, my foot are not really well placed on the stairs, I might rub this. No, I just wanted to be free and just enjoy the moment. So I was a bit less careful than I usually am. But I think the tail was strong enough to support that. But I can show you the scuffing was quite massive. I don't know if it shows on the camera, but yeah, maybe there. I don't know, I'm hiding behind my tail. Oh, this is not the right side. Let me check. Oh yes, it's the right side. I don't know if it shows on screen, but it's really scuffed, but it stays quite strong. Maybe you can see it there. And of course, when the tail is wet, you don't see this, so it's not as bad as it seems. So I'm gonna give a 7 out of 10 only for the fabric itself. This fabric is not bad at all, as you can see. It's really soft, but also strong, you know, it's stretchy, but not stretchy as for instance, as a fin fan. It's way thicker, it holds really well, you can play, you can just scuff as I did, scuff a lot, but it stays, it's not, I didn't make holes at all, so I think it's quite a good fabric. But it's just my own taste. We're gonna finish this video talking about the customer service. So Kate is hands down the best seller in this community. And believe me, I tried a lot of brands, but she's amazing. She's super reactive, adorable, she's passionate. You can ask whatever you want and she will reply so quickly. She's also very quick in the process. As I told you, the first time that I reached out to you was at the beginning of April, and at the beginning of May I received my tail, literally, so this went quite fast. I would say I also have quite a crush on her personality and on her taste. We have a good feeling together, it's so easy to talk, she's funny, you can feel comfortable to talk with her, so yeah, I really appreciate her. So thank you very much, Kate, again, and this bot obviously needs a 10 out of 10. So this is the final result of the review. I'm just moving like this because I don't know where I'm gonna write the result. I think that for a tiny brand as she has, her work is fabulous. I think she sews very well. She's a really good designer. The fabric is quite resistant because I just played a lot and I was not going really slow, but it's quite resistant. I also think she has very good taste, as I told you before. She really explores the natural mermaid looks, freshwater fish. This is a universe I totally like. So I really invite you to discover her website. And maybe why not buy a Liquid Lyra tail? So if you do buy this tail, please tag me on Instagram. I would be so thrilled to see you guys in this tail, because it would be so awesome to be a Liquid Lyra pod worldwide. Let's be crazy. Thanks a lot for following me, and I see you very soon in another video. Bye bye, merfriends!